Hello there, you're listening to the Sort Yourself Out podcast. This week, we're discussing how to get more bang for your buck when it comes to self-help and personal growth. I'm your host, Janine Hunt, natural health therapist for over 30 years, hypnotherapist, lifelong learner, and student of the Ageless Wisdom. Here on the Sort Yourself Out podcast and in my Better Than Happy Zone membership, I teach powerful top-down techniques and practices so that you can master your mind and emotions, free yourself of what's holding you back, expand your consciousness, and nourish your soul. So let's get started. Well, hello there, and thank you so much for joining me today. Have you ever wondered if there were some way to speed up your personal growth? To get past those blockages and hangups that hold you back, or to be free of those tendencies to sabotage yourself just when you're getting close to success or happiness? Don't you hate when that happens? And I'm sure you know, you can end up feeling so frustrated and stuck and impotent when you're wanting and trying to change. And yet, you just can't seem to make it happen. This usually means that there is a limiting belief pattern in your subconscious mind, sabotaging your success. So you need to become consciously aware of these patterns so that you can free yourself and move on. And this is where my top-down approach, called the 3 phases of transformation, comes in. These 3 phases of transformation are all about making your mind work for you and not against you. As long as you have conflicting or limiting beliefs or patterns of behavior buried in your subconscious mind, they will always win out and stop you from making the change you want to make, even when you really want it. Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." So the 3 phases of transformation are all about becoming more aware of what's going on in your subconscious mind, and therefore becoming the master of your fate. And that sounds good, right? So here's an overview of the 3 phases of transformation. Phase number 1, raise your awareness. This phase involves us becoming aware of what is going on in the subconscious mind. Because believe me, as I discovered when I quit drinking, it can be a right mess in there. And until you shine a light on all the crap that's going on in there, you're at its mercy. And it will be a major source of self-sabotage. Phase number 2, liberate yourself. This phase is all about liberating ourselves from the unhelpful ideas and untrue suppositions and limiting beliefs that we discover lurking in our subconscious minds, blocking our success and aspirations. And phase 3, reprogram your mind. In this phase, we reprogram our minds at the subconscious level with the beliefs that facilitate lasting change. There are 2 important aspects to phase 3, reprogram your mind. Firstly, we choose the beliefs, the helpful, nourishing, and progressive beliefs that we are going to install in our minds. And 2, we use techniques and practices that make the mind receptive and that allow us to install the beliefs at the subconscious level where they will be accepted. This makes a huge difference to trying to install beliefs from a conscious level, which is where many of us go wrong and why our efforts to change don't work. We need to get the mind in a receptive state, like we do in hypnotherapy, so the suggestions we make to it will bypass the critical factor of the conscious mind, and we can get through to the subconscious mind to install the new beliefs and ideas that we actually want in there. So those are the 3 phases of transformation. Raise your awareness, liberate yourself, and reprogram your mind. And they are all about making the unconscious conscious, freeing ourselves from our hindrances, and then consciously choosing and installing at a deep level the beliefs that will uplift our well-being and get us where we want to go. It is transformation from the inside out, and that is the kind of transformation that works. So inside of all of this, how do we raise our awareness and get more bang for our self-help buck? Well, we use top-down techniques and practices, those inside-out processes that don't just put a Band-Aid over our issues, but truly sort them out by accessing the higher parts of ourselves. Albert Einstein said that no problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. Likewise, Carl Jung tells us that a conflict between 2 opposing forces or points of self-identification on the same level within the psyche is never resolved on that level. The solution comes in finding a higher point of synthesis or a higher point of self-identification, which negates the lower conflict. So we need to access a higher part of ourselves to get a solution and move onwards and upwards. Enter top-down techniques and practices. Top-down techniques and practices get you more bang for your buck because they heal not only specific issues in your life, but they also generate a higher awareness that serves you in all aspects and moments of your life. Here are a few ways that top-down techniques help you get more bang for your buck. As Einstein and Jung taught, you manage the lower with the higher. You use the higher creative and inspired parts of yourself, the mind and spirit, to manage the lower parts, your emotional and physical natures. And this is where orthodox psychology confirms the ageless wisdom teachings, that the emotional nature and its conflicts can only be controlled by developing the mental body, by identifying yourself as the thinker rather than the feeler. And on a higher turn of the spiral, as we develop that mental poise, it's essential to relate it to the overshadowing soul, our spiritual nature, so that we don't get carried away with the cherished thoughts and ideas that we tend to cling on to on a purely mental or intellectual level, known in the ageless wisdom as illusion. Next, top-down techniques facilitate lasting change. They get your mind working for you, not against you, allowing you to respond afresh in the moment, free from the patterns and knee-jerk reactions of the past. They also raise your awareness and expand your consciousness of your own true nature and the nature of reality to propel you forward in your personal growth and evolution and service in the world. And this last bit is a biggie, your service in the world. We all have something percolating away within our hearts that is ours to give to the world. We are here to share our light, our talents, gifts, and skills for the good of all. And incidentally, as we do that, we take the focus off of ourselves and our problems And that in itself is another top-down practice and a double whammy because it benefits you and the world. Nice. And top-down techniques also create an exponential shift in your life as you cultivate powerful inner resources whose benefits radiate out to uplift all areas of your life. That is the magic of generating a higher awareness. It doesn't help you solve just one single problem or issue. It's there to serve you in all areas of your life. And these are the kind of techniques that I teach in my Better Than Happy Zone membership. I'm not interested in the Band-Aid kind of self-help. I want effective tools and techniques that provide a great bang for my buck. So it's top-down techniques all the way. So if this is the kind of thing that interests you and you want to go and have a look, go have a look at betterthanhappyzone.com and see if it's a good fit for you. And regardless of that, there is no technique I recommend more than meditation. It is a top-down technique extraordinaire that helps you in all three phases of transformation. So if you don't meditate already, or you only dabble sporadically, I recommend that you download my free Quick Start Guide to Doable Meditation. In it, I provide really simple, no-fuss instructions on how to meditate, and I'm talking meditation that only takes 5 minutes. It also includes tips to make sure you can fit it into your day and move past any resistance you might feel about starting a daily meditation practice, because most of us have some of that when we're starting out, and that's why we spend so long dabbling. And it's in the daily practice of meditation that the magic happens. So do give it a go, as meditation is a fantastic top-down technique that helps to illumine your mind and achieve a higher order of well-being. You can get that at theinspirationcloud.com/SYO75. That's theinspirationcloud.com/SYO75. Those are the numbers 75. And I will put a link to that in the show notes. Okay, my friend, that is all for today. Thank you so much for listening and spending your time with me. I really do appreciate it. So take care, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for listening and for sharing this podcast and for subscribing and leaving me a lovely 5-star review on iTunes. Those things really help to get the podcast out there so that it can serve more people. If you have any questions or would like me to address a certain topic, I'd love to hear from you. You can email me at info@theinspirationcloud.com. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week.